All right, let's do a whole bunch of factoring quadratic trinomials now that I've given you the 4 cases. So let's start with number 1. X squared plus 15x plus 56. I've added an extra step in there just to make sure that we understand what we're asking for. So we're looking for 2 whole numbers that multiply to positive 56 and add to positive 15. Looking at our 4 cases, if it multiplies to a positive and adds to a positive, then the combination needs to be positive and positive. I'm not gonna put this whole right side on the test, by the way. I'm gonna give you the problem and you're gonna show the work. Again, the best way to get better at this is to fail. Literally try, and fail, because this skill needs to be flexed like a muscle. You gotta get it stronger. So let's start with the obvious choice. 1 and itself, 1 times 56. 1 times 56 is 56. 1 plus 56 is 57, and that's not what I want. Then I'd go 56 divided by 2. 2 times 28. 2 times 28 is 56. 2 plus 28 is 30. Then I go to my calculator and I go 56 divided by 3. It's 18.66666. So it's a decimal. So the point is that doesn't count. 56 divided by 4. Can that work? Yeah, let's try 4 times 14. 4 times 14 is 56. 4 plus 14 is 18. Closer and closer to 15, but we're not quite there yet. 56 divided by 5 is 11.2. That's a decimal, so forget about it. 56 divided by 6. 9.3 repeating. That is a decimal, so forget about it. 56 divided by 7 is 8. So 7 times 8. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 plus 8 is 15. We win, so we're going to count this group. Therefore, x squared plus 15x plus 56. Since the winning team is positive 7, positive 8, the solution is x plus 7, x plus 8. Okay. Looking at number 2 now, x squared minus 13x plus 22. Once again, I'm looking for the 2 numbers that multiply to positive 22 and add to negative 13. So, what combination does multiply to a positive, add to a negative mean? Well, looking at your cheat sheet, you should have it on your left, or you should have it on your side. The combination of 2 numbers needs to be negative and negative. So a negative times a negative. So a negative times a negative makes a positive. 2 negatives added together make more negatives. So let's start with negative 1 and negative 22. Negative 1 times negative 22 is 22, but negative 1 plus negative 22 is negative 23. Next, I see if I can do divided by 2. And negative 2 times negative 11. Negative 2 times negative 11 is positive 22, but added together, negative 2 plus negative 11 is negative 13. We check that off. That's the winning team that I want. So since negative 2, negative 11 is the winning team, this factors into x minus 2, x minus 11. Okay. So just a refresher, this is what I'm looking for. I want to see the work. All right, number 3, x squared plus 3x minus 40. Ooh, this is a tricky one. So specifically, sorry, let me move this notebook up a little bit. I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to negative 40 but add to positive 3. So if I'm going to look at my cheat sheet of all the 4 cases, If it multiplies to a negative, then the combination needs to be a positive and a negative. But there's two different versions of positive and negative. Is it a strong positive and a weak negative, or a weak positive and a strong negative? Well, that's when I uncover the right side. I notice that it has to add to positive 3, so that means that the positive has to be stronger than the negative. So I'm going to make a list of 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 within the negatives. So -1 and positive 40. -1 times 40 is positive 39. So that doesn't work. Let me try divided by 2. Specifically, -2 and positive 20. -2 times 20 is -40, but -2 plus 20 is 18. So that doesn't work. Let me try 40 divided by 3. I plug it in the calculator, and 40 divided by 3 is 13.333333, so that doesn't count. Let me try 40 divided by 4 then. So that's going to be -4 and positive 10. So that doesn't work because -4 times 10 is -40, but -4 plus 10 is positive 6. Notice how closer and closer and closer we get to adding to 3. Now, let me try divided by 5. Specifically, -5, positive 8. -5 times 8 is -40, but -5 plus 8 is positive 3. So that checks out. Now, since -5 and positive 8 make the winning team, this becomes x minus 5, x plus 8, and that boxes the answer. Okay? Let's do some more cases. See if you can do, let me do one more together, and then I'll show you guys which ones you should try independently before asking for my help in this video. X squared minus 4x minus 12. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to -12, but add to -4. So I'm going to cover up the right column. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to -12. So in order to get to multiply to -12, it needs to be a positive-negative combination. But specifically, if it adds to -4, what does that tell me? The negative has to be stronger than the positive. So now I'm going to make a whole bunch of +1, +2, +3, and so on and so forth. I'm going to make a weak positive and a strong negative. 1 times -12 is -12. 1 plus -12 is -11. And that doesn't work. Let me try divided by 2. Can I do -12 divided by 2? Yeah. 2 times -6. 2 times -6 is -12. 2 plus -6 is -4. Okay? That's the winning team. So I'm going to pick that team. And now the winning combination is +2, -6. So I can factor this into x plus 2, x minus 6. Okay, I'm going to give you guys these three problems. See if you can do these three problems independently. X squared minus 11x plus 28, x squared minus 3x minus 40, and x squared plus 8x minus 65. Sorry, I was going to add a fourth. Sorry, I wanted the camera to fit all of them in there. See if you can do these four problems independently by pausing the video. Okay, Let's do number 5. X squared minus 11x plus 28. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to positive 28 and add to negative 11. So I'm going to look at my cheat sheet. If it multiplies to a positive, it could be positive times positive or negative times negative. But now that we're given the clue that the b is negative, that means it needs to be a negative-negative combination, because negative times negative is positive. Two negatives added together make more negative. So let's get right to the table. Negative 1, negative 28. Negative 2, negative 14. Okay, so negative 1 times negative 28 is 28, but those added together make negative 29. Negative 2 times negative 14 is positive 28, but negative 2 plus negative 14 is negative 16. Let me try divided by 3. 28 divided by 3 is a decimal, and 28 divided by 4, oh, that's going to be 7. So that's negative 4 times negative 7. Those multiply to positive 28, but added together they make negative 11. So that checks off, and I'm going to pick this team. Now, since the winning team is negative 4, negative 7, this team gets factored into x minus 4, x minus 7. Okay. Number 6. X squared minus 3x minus 40. What am I looking for in this problem? I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 40 and add to negative 3. You'll notice that it's very similar, I believe, to problem number 3. Yeah, x squared plus 3x minus 40. This time we're given x squared minus 3x minus 40. I see what they did there. So in this case, if it multiplies to negative 40, it has to be a plus-minus combination. So a positive times a negative makes a negative, but the next clue is it has to be a stronger negative. So I'm going to make a list of weak positives and strong negatives. So positive 1 times negative 40. That's going to be negative 40, but 1 minus 40 is negative 39. Divide by 2, you get 2 times negative 20 is negative 40, but added together they form negative 18. 3 doesn't go in there, but 4 does. 4 and negative 10. 4 times negative 10 is negative 40, but they add together. 4 plus negative 10 gets negative 6. Let me extend that table a little bit because I didn't win yet. Let me try divided by 5. 5 times negative 8. 5 times negative 8 is negative 40, but added together they form negative 3, and that's the winning team. So since the winning combination this time is positive 5, negative 8, this has to be x plus 5, x minus 8. Don't forget about the parentheses. Okay. Number 7. X squared plus 8x minus 65. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 65 and add to positive 8. So I'm going to cover up the right column and see what information I can get. If it multiplies to make negative 65, then it has to be a positive and negative combination. But the positive and the negative, which one is stronger? The positive has to be stronger because it has to add to positive 8. So let's get right to it. Negative 1 and positive 65. Negative 1 times 65 is negative 65, but negative 1 plus 65 is Nintendo 64. That doesn't work. Let me try 65 divided by 2. It's an odd number, so it's going to be a decimal. Let me try 65 divided by 3. It doesn't work. It's a decimal. 65 divided by 4. It's a decimal again. 65 divided by 5. Yes. Specifically, -5 and positive 13. -5 times 13 is -65. -5 plus 13 is positive 8. So that checks out. So the winning team is -5 and positive 13. Therefore, I can factor this into x minus 5, x plus 13. Okay, see if you can do number 8 independently. X squared plus 15x plus 36 by pausing the screen. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to look for two numbers that multiply to positive 36 and add to 15. Well, if it multiplies to a positive, it has to be positive positive or negative negative. But if they add to positive, that means it has to be positive times positive. So let's just get right to it. 1 times 36. 1 times 36 is 36. 1 plus 36 is 37. Let's try dividing by 2. 2 goes into 36 18 times. 2 times 18 is 36, but 2 plus 18 is 20. All right, let me try 36 divided by 3. 3 goes into 36 12 times. 3 times 12 is 36. 3 plus 12 is 15. So the winning team is 3 and 12. So if we've got the winning team of positive 3, positive 12, that becomes x plus 3, x plus 12. Sorry, let me get a better light. I know it's been a little bit of a glare, so I'm going to get a little bit of an aerial shot. So that's basically all it is. Now I'm going to give some more practice problems. Okay. Okay. X squared plus 12x plus 36. See if you can do these problems independently. You might need to try a little bit harder on this one. Okay, let's do x squared plus 12x plus 36. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to positive 36 and add to positive 12. Okay, so now I need to figure out, you can figure it out from here, that it's going to be a positive-positive combination because two positives multiply to make positive. Two positives make an addition, make a sum that's positive, rather. So let me get right to it. 1 and 36. 1 times 36 is 36. 1 plus 36 is 37. That's not what I'm looking for. Go on to the next one. 36 divided by 2. Does that work? Yeah. 2 times 18. 2 times 18 is 36, but 2 plus 18 is 20. 3 times 12 is 36, but 3 plus 12 is 15. Let me try divided by 4 now. 4 goes into 36 9 times. 4 times 9 is 36, but 4 plus 9 is 13. Notice how really close we are to 12. So let me try 36 divided by 5. That's going to be a decimal. 36 divided by 6 is 6. So let's try 6 times 6 is 36, but 6 plus 6 is 12. Oh, that's the one we want. So I'm going to pick positive 6, positive 6. So x plus 6 times x plus 6 is how you factor this. If you want to be fancy and you want to write this in simplified form, you can also write this as x plus 6 quantity squared. Okay. Number 10. X squared minus 24x plus 144. So the reason why I like the table, and I want you guys to show the table on the test, I want to see the suspects that you used. So the reason why I want to put big numbers on there is not to torture you guys, but to get you guys in the right mindset that if you don't see the combination immediately, make that table. There's no excuse for anybody missing. There's no excuse for anybody lacking the skills to do this. All you need is a calculator and how to make that table. So if it multiplies to a positive and adds to a negative, that means that the combination needs to be a negative negative. Negative times negative is positive. Two negatives added together makes more negative. So let's get right to it. Negative 1, negative 144. So I'm going to skip the whole can I divide thing. So I'm just going to do it. Negative 1 plus negative 144 is negative 145. I'm not happy. So what about 144 divided by 2? That is 72. So let me try negative 2, negative 72. Well, that adds together to form negative 74. Can I do 144 divided by 3? Yeah, 48. Negative 3 times negative 48 is 144, but they add together to form negative 51. All right, let me see if I can do 144 divided by 4, 36. So that's negative 4, negative 36. Negative 4 plus negative 36 is negative 40. Okay. Can I divide by 5? No, it doesn't end in a 0 or a 5, so it'll be a decimal. Let me try negative 6. Okay. I believe it's 24. Yeah, negative 6 times negative 24 is 144, but added together, negative 6 plus negative 24 is negative 30. 144 divided by 7 is a decimal. 144 divided by 8 is 18. So negative 8, negative 18. I'm going to need a longer table. That's going to be negative 26. Okay, notice how much closer we got to negative 24. Okay, 144 divided by 9, is that possible? Hopefully that's the winning combination. No, it's there, but it's negative 9, negative 16. Negative 9 times negative 16 is 144, but added together they make negative 25. So let's try 144 divided by 10. Nope, that's a decimal because it'll be 14.4. 144 divided by 11 is also a decimal. So let's try 144 divided by 12, and that'll be negative 12 times negative 12. Negative 12 times negative 12 is 144, but added together they form negative 24. There we go, finally. So sometimes you might have problems like that where you do need to list all the factors. You might need to list a lot of them. How many did we list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We had to fail 7 times before we succeeded on the 8th time. That is not a problem. Your hard work is going to help you master this. So this becomes x minus 12 times x minus 12. And I'll accept that. That's totally okay with me. But if you want to be fancy, you can write this as x minus 12 quantity squared. Okay. All right. 4 more, and then we'll call it a day. The reason why I'm doing so much is because you need to master this. Number 11, x squared minus 16x plus 48. Number 12, x squared minus 3x minus 54. Number 13, x squared plus 2x minus 80. And number 14, x squared plus 18x plus 81. See if you guys can do all 4 of these independently. And pause the screen. Okay, so let's do number 11 independent. Let's do this one now. So I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to positive 48 and add to negative 16. Well, 2 numbers that multiply to positive 48 and add to negative 16. So that has to be negative, negative. Negative 1, negative 48. Let's get right to it. They multiply to 48, but they add to negative 49. Negative 2 and negative 24. My pen's, I need to switch to a pen. They add to, they multiply to 48, but they add to negative 26. Okay, let me try negative 3 and negative 16. Negative 3 times negative 16 is positive 48, but they add to negative 19. That's too high. All right, negative 4 and negative 12. Negative 4 times negative 12 is positive 48, but they add together to form negative 16. So the winning team is negative 4, negative 12. So x minus 4, x minus 12, we win. Okay. All right. In problem number 12, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 54 and add to negative 3. Specifically, this is a positive-negative combination, but which one is stronger? Well, it has to add to negative 3, so it has to be a much stronger negative. 1, negative 54. They add together to form negative 53. 2 and negative 27. Not successful. They add up together to form negative 25. 3. 54 divided by 3, I think is 17. 18. 54 divided by 3 is negative 54 divided by 3 is negative 18. So 3 times negative 18 will make negative 54, but 3 plus negative 18 is negative 15. All right, 54 divided by 4 is a decimal. 54 divided by 5 is also a decimal. 54 divided by 6 is 9. So we're going to try 6 times negative 9. 6 times negative 9 is negative 54, but 6 plus negative 9, there we go, is negative 3. That's the winning team that we want. So if the winning team is positive 6, negative 9, then the factored form is x plus 6, x minus 9. Okay. Number 13, x squared plus 2x minus 80. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 80 and add to positive 2. Okay, so it has to be a positive-negative combination, but which one is going to be stronger? The positive has to be 2 units stronger than the negative. So let's get right to it. Let's see, negative 1, positive 80. Okay, negative 1 times positive 80 is negative 80. Negative 1 plus 80 is 79. Negative 2, positive 40. They add up to positive 38. 80 divided by 3 is a decimal, but 80 divided by 4, let's try negative 4 and positive 20. Negative 4 plus 20 is 16. 80 divided by 5, I believe, is 16. 16, yeah. So let's try negative 5 and positive 16. Negative 5 plus 16 is 11. I like that, but it's not quite there. 80 divided by 6 is a decimal. 80 divided by 7 is a decimal. 80 divided by 8, I think we got it. Negative 8, positive 10. Negative 8 plus 10 is 2. And that's the winning team that we want. So if the winning combination is negative 8, positive 10, so that becomes x minus 8, x plus 10. Okay, one last question and then we'll call it a day. two numbers that need to multiply to positive 81 and add to positive 18. I know, I see the 1 and the 8, and I got a little mixed up right there. I almost made a mistake. But if it multiplies to a positive, it could be positive times positive or negative times negative. But since it adds to a positive as well, the two numbers need to be positive, positive. So let's get right to it. 1 and 81. 1 plus 81 is 82. 2 does not go in there, but 3 does. 3 times 27, in fact, is 81. So that adds to 30. Doesn't divide by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but 9 it does. So 9 times 9 is 81, but they add together to form positive 18. So there's the winning team, positive 9, positive 9. So this means that this can be factored into x plus 9 times x plus 9, or if you want to be fancy, x plus 9 quantity squared. I'll accept either one of them. Even though public schools like x plus 9 quantity squared, I kind of like x plus 9 because it shows me the combination visually, positive 9 times positive 9, but it's also very, very useful in simplifying rational expressions, which you get into Algebra 2 and pre-calc. I find that much easier. But anyway, the reason why we did so much is because I want to prep this for you guys. This is the most important thing for the rest of high school math. Have a great day.